One night in the disco on the outskirts of Frisco, I was cruising with my favorite gang. The place was so boring, filled with out-of-towners touring. I knew that it wasn't my thing. I really wasn't caring, but I felt my eyes staring at a guy who stuck out in the crowd. He had the kind of body that would shame Adonis, and a face that would make any man proud. Oh, what wow! He's the greatest dancer. Oh, what wow! That I've ever seen. Oh, what wow! He's the greatest dancer. Oh, what wow! The champion of dance, his moves will put you in a trance, and he never leaves the disco alone. Arrogance but not conceit, as a man he's complete. My creme de la creme, please take me home. He wears the finest clothes, the best designers, heaven knows. Ooh, from his head down to his toes. Halston, Gucci, Fiorucci, he looks like a steal. That man is dressed to kill. Oh, what wow! He's the greatest dancer. Oh, what wow! That I've ever seen. I've ever seen. He's the greatest dancer. Oh, what wow! Ooh, 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 wow! Oh, what wow! Yeah, he's the greatest dancer. Oh, what wow! That I've ever seen. I love the move.
Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 560th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I put onto YouTube. Straight away you'll see that this is hosted on a custom battle, and it is hosted by Brotherhood member Crypto. Okay, our first teammate is Brotherhood member Demon. Now Demon has got 13 infantry, 1 archer and 6 cavalry. Okay, 13 infantry, 1 archer and 6 cavalry. Just to show you here, can you see within his infantry he's got an eagle unit? Okay, so that's obviously going to give his infantry a lot of morale, plus he's also got an infantry general. So of course with an eagle unit and an infantry general, there is a lot of morale there for his troops, going to keep them fighting longer. So that's a pretty good move. Let's have a quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, and I see he's got 7 upgrades, and experience, stripe, gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry. So I think that's a pretty good balanced army there. Okay, our next teammate is RTW player Andras. Now Andras has got 16 infantry and 4 cavalry, but he's got some interesting upgrades here. If you notice here, can you see some of his infantry have got 7 upgrades, and experience, stripe, gold shield, gold attack. Okay, and other units have just got 6 upgrades, gold shield, gold attack, but that's not all of the unusual upgrades he's got. And other units, could you see he's got he's got 1 upgrade on that unit and no upgrades on that unit. So I'm presuming they're going to be his pilot shield units there. I suppose he's thinking, why spend money on units that are just going to soak up enemy pilers? And anywhere you can see other units, once again, 7 upgrades and experience, stripe, gold shield, gold attack. So make no mistake here, he's got a lot of good upgrades on his infantry there. Okay. And let's just show you here, his general though is an eagle unit, legionary first cohort. Okay, that's his general, the eagle unit. And if you notice, you look closely, you'll see no upgrades on that unit. Okay, he hasn't got any upgrades on his general unit at all, so that tells me that he'll be keeping that unit out of battle right to the very end of the battle. He won't use that unless he really has to. So that's an interesting army, and as you can see, that was infantry based. Okay, our next teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who's got 14 Spartans and 5 archers. Okay, 14 Spartans and 5 archers there. And our last teammate is RTW player Lazy Ant. Now Lazy Ant has got 13 infantry, 1 archer and 6 cavalry. Okay, 13 infantry, 1 archer and 6 cavalry. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry. And he's got 7 upgrades, and experience, stripe, gold shield, gold attack. So there's our team. It's got the potential to be a great battle, a close battle as well, and I hope you enjoy it. And here is the other team. We have the host of this battle, Brotherhood member Crypto. Now Crypto's got 14 infantry, 2 archers and 4 cavalry. Okay. And just have a quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry. He usually brings serious cavalry, and there you can see 8 upgrades. 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Remember, Praetorian cavalry does really good with just gold shield, gold attack. You put 2 experience stripes on them, and that makes those cavalry serious cavalry there. So it'll be interesting to see how well that army goes. I think that's a pretty good balanced army. Their next teammate is Brotherhood member Barclayman, who has bought his faction of choice, Carthage. Okay, as we know, he really does love this faction. He's really concentrated on this faction, and now he's got an ideal army which he really likes. He's got 15 Sacred Band Spearmen, and he's got 5 Sacred Band Cavalry, and as you can see, he's just got gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry. So there you go. I think that's a pretty good balanced Carthage army there. No slingers though, unusual. Okay, his next teammate is brother member Pompey. Now Pompey has got 17 infantry and 3 cavalry. Now, will 17 infantry make up for just 3 cavalry? I guess we'll just have to see what the upgrades are on his cavalry. And I see he's got 7 upgrades on his cavalry. That's an experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack. So as you can see, a very infantry based army there. And as I say, would 17 infantry make up for just 3 cavalry? I guess we'll just have to see. Okay, their last teammate is RTW player Lotus. Now I wanted to show you Lotus's army here because it's an unusual army build, and I think you might find it quite interesting. Can you see the first 3 units, his pilot shield units if you like, are all early legionary cohorts with no upgrades. Okay, so he's got 3 early legionary cohorts with no upgrades as his forward pilot shield units. As I say, I think that's quite unusual. You don't usually see that. These units are not very good, really. And then he's got his urban cohorts, I believe, with just gold shield, gold attack. There you go, 6 upgrades, gold shield, gold attack, in behind those early legionary units. Okay, so he's got 6 units of gold shield, gold attack. But look at his final battle line there. Can you see those 5 infantry units there? Let's have a close look at the upgrades. 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. So that rear line of his battle formation has got 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. And that's some serious urban cohort infantry there with those upgrades. And his cavalry, I'm guessing, probably are only got 6 upgrades, gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry. Okay, so that's going to be an unusual army build there. So it'll be interesting to see how well it does during the course of the battle. Very, very interesting, and as I say, unusual army build, especially with those really well upgraded infantry at the back of his battle formation. So there's the other team. Should be a great battle for you to watch. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you can see I've got my Spartans in what I call a box formation there. Very unusual. You don't see Spartans in this type of formation these days. And what I was going to say, talk to you a little bit about tactics here. Now what the enemy team will know that I like to be aggressive and attacking when I'm Greek cities here. So what they'd like me to do is to attack the enemy Brutii Roman army there, which would then, the moment I hit its forward units, would withdraw behind its Carthage ally there. And then those 15 Carthage Sacred Band Spearmen would then engage my Greek cities. Okay. This is the enemy tactics, I'm thinking, and then the Brutii infantry that had pulled behind Carthage would then filter urban cohorts units in as well to attack my Greek cities. So in effect, I would be fighting 2 armies instead of 1. Okay, that's the usual tactic they employ against my Greek city here. So we just have to see if that's what's going to happen today. Okay. So as I say here, my Greek cities here will move forward here. You can see Andras taking his Julio units slowly forward here. Okay, I was just going to ask you something here that I don't usually ask, and that is in the comments, could you please, after you've watched this battle, put where you think the battle was won or where you think the battle was lost. I think it'd be interesting to kind of generate a debate on this. We haven't done this before in any of our battles, but I'd be interested to see where you guys think the battle was won or where it was lost. As I say, it could really generate a good bit of debate here. Okay, you can see the Brutii archers here of Crypto. He's brought them in on the flank here to shoot into the flank of Demon's infantry. As I say here, you can see this is our general disposition here. We seem to be pulling in quite tight. If you notice here, we are quite tight here with our team. Must be careful that we kind of don't get like too tight, too defensive, because it looks to me like we're looking a little bit defensive here, and of course that would then hand the initiative to the enemy. Here you can see Andras and I think it's Pompey's units there exchanging pilas. You can see here newer players to Rome Total War, if you haven't seen a unit go into Testudo, I'm guessing you're going to see this Brutii unit of Pompey here go into Testudo. Remember, this is a real formation that the Romans used back in the day, extremely effective for protection against missiles. Now you watch, can you see the Julii general there throwing pilas into the Testudo unit? And if you notice there, he's already going to lose any men from those pilas hitting him. Can you see, I think he's lost one man from all those pilas there. That's how effective the Testudo is. You can see, as I say, that's why the Romans used it back in the day. Extremely effective against all kinds of missiles. And as I say, you can see that Pompey's put a couple of his forward units into that particular formation there. So I say it's a very, very early stage of the battle here. And this has got the potential to be a really great battle. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you can see that RTW player Lotus is attacking there with his Brutii infantry on our left flank. As you can see here, he looks like he's trying a left flanking attack here. And you can see that Lazy Ant has turned his SPQ or army to face that. In the centre here, you can see Andras is facing Pompey's 17 infantry units. And on our right, you can see that Crypto is facing Demon. Okay, if you notice here, can you see that the enemy Carthage Sacred Band army is tucked in behind Brutii, because what they're hoping for, as I said earlier, is for my Greek cities, for me to be aggressive my Greek cities, to attack Brutii so that the Carthage Sacred Band can be brought into the fray, and in effect I would be fighting two armies. That's the usual counter tactic they bring in against my Greek cities there. Okay, over here on the right you can see I'm moving my archers forward to counter Crypto's two Brutii archers here. And if you notice here, Crypto is backing those two archers off because, of course, I've got 5 archers, and he knows that the chances are that he'd probably lose both of his archer units there. So it's a good tactical move there to move those archers out of range. Okay, so as I say, over here on the left flank, you can see Lotus looking to be very aggressive here from what I can see. Look, once again, like aggressively attacking one of Lazy Ant's forward units that's in Testudo. They're going to be exchanging pilas there as well, as you can see. So as I say, Lotus being very aggressive here on our left flank, charging in there. Look. Bang, as he smashes into one of Lazy Ant's forward units and then routes almost on impact. So as I say, Lotus got an unusual army build there. Remember, he's got those 5 urban cohorts at the back of his battle formation with 8 upgrades on each. Okay, meanwhile over here on our right flank you can see Crypto's Brutii troops there exchanging pilas with Demon's Scipii troops here. Okay, there's a heck of a lot of pilas there going in from both sides. You can see how important it is to have pilot shield units in open order in front of your main battle formation, because remember, units in open order suffer less damage from missiles. So as I say, newer players to Rome Total War, maybe if you play the remastered as well, remember, forward units should be in open order there to soak up enemy pilas. If you keep them in close, tight formation there, you'll find you'll lose a lot more men. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second here. You can see that Crypto's backing his cavalry off there, and that's because my archers are targeting his cavalry. He positioned them there with a view, I think, to smash into the flank of Demon's infantry if they engaged. So with my archer fire there, he's forced his cavalry back, and you can see that Barclay Man's Sacred Band cavalry has moved out to our right flank there, probably with a view to smash into our archers if he gets a chance, but luckily Demon's got his cavalry there to counter any cavalry attack there. But as I say, you can see Demon and Crypto really getting engaged there, and you can see, as I say, our Julii ally Andras getting engaged with Pompey's Brutii troops. And as I say, over on the left flank here, you can see Lotus being very aggressive. Look how he's throwing his units into the forward units of Lazy Ant's SPQR infantry. Very, very aggressive there on our left flank. But as I say, here on our right flank, you can see, remember, those cavalry of Crypto's got 8 upgrades, 2 experience strike, gold shield, gold attack. I'm moving my archers forward here with a view to try and target those cavalry even more. And I think Demon's got some archer units there that he's also using to target the enemy cavalry. But also you've got the 2 units of Crypto's archers there shooting into our troops as well. So as I say there, we are targeting that cavalry unit. But as I say here, I think this could be quite a condensed battlefield here, looking at how close and tight and defensive our team is. I think we do look quite defensive here. And of course, once you go defensive, you then pass the initiative over to the enemy. So as I can say here, you can see Lotus here, he's lost several of his units already through his very aggressive attack. And as I say, those 5 units at the back of his battle formation, 8 upgrades each, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Here comes a Brutii cavalry unit, and bang, as it smashes in there. And another one coming in here. Lotus charging 2 of his cavalry units in. Get ready for this, and bang, as it smashes it in to one of Andras's forward engaged units there. I thought Andras's unit would have broken there, so it did really well to hold against those 2 cavalry hits there. But once again, very aggressive from Lotus there. As I say, Andras's infantry here is facing 17 units of Pompey's infantry. Okay, if you notice here, I've moved my Greek city formation back a little bit here to keep the enemy guessing where I'm looking to hit. Could it be this Brutii infantry here on our right flank I'm looking to hit? And you can see my archers here still shooting into the enemy archers there. Crypto's got his 2 archers there. Remember those archer auxiliary of Rome have got good defence, probably better defence than what my archers have got. Cretan archers defence not very good. And as I say here, you can see our Scipio ally still exchanging pylons with our Brutii ally here. And there's you can see one of Andras's units has just been routed by Pompey. A lot of skirmishing going on at the moment. There's been a lot of pilot exchanging, but now quite a bit of skirmishing going on. See a lot of movement there by Pompey. And I think Lotus there, if you notice here, Lotus has moved round from the left flank more into the centre now, maybe with a view to try and support Pompey, his ally Pompey there. Remember that all the green Roman units that you can see are enemy, and Carthage are enemy. Okay, everything else is us. So over here on our right flank, you can see that some enemy Carthage Sacred Band cavalry have come in to charge into my archers. And you can see one of our SBQ allies there has moved forward with his cavalry there. Okay, so let's just pause the game for a second. You can see here I'm moving my Greek cities forward with a view to charge into those Brutii units. Now, Crypto will back his army off. He won't want to fight my Spartans head on. I think they've learnt from experience there, don't fight Spartans head on. So what he'll do, he'll back his Brutii army off, and it wouldn't surprise me if Carthage moved those Sacred Band spearmen down here as well. Wouldn't surprise me if they did that, because that's the usual tactic. As I say, as we thought here, you can see Crypto backing his Brutii troops off there. Okay, and now I've done what I wanted to do. I'm going to move my Spartans back. But if you notice there, can you see the Carthage Sacred Band was already moving down? Okay, there you can see they were going to move down here to integrate with Crypto's Brutii army there. So if I carried on moving forward, I would have been in fact fighting 2 armies. But as I say, I just moved forward there just to kind of disrupt Crypto's battle formation here. I knew he'd pull back, which he did. And I knew the Carthage Sacred Band would start moving down towards where I'd hit. So I'm now going to move my Spartans back. As I say, trying to keep the enemy guessing what I'm going to do with my Spartan army. Here you can see a lot of cavalry exchanging going on here. Now as they're chasing the Brutii cavalry, okay, those Sacred Band cavalry could make a grab from my archers there. Like, just pause the game for a second. So here all my allies cavalry are chasing down Crypto's well upgraded Brutii cavalry. But of course now Barclayman could use his fast moving Sacred Band cavalry to take out my archers, which are stood a little bit exposed there now that most of our allies cavalry have gone off chasing the Brutii cavalry. As I say, there you go. That's a nice tactical move there by Barclayman. He read the situation quite well, but if he's not careful, those 2 cavalry units could get trapped there now, because we've got Julii cavalry there, as well as his Scipio cavalry and SBQR cavalry returning. So both those Sacred Band cavalry units could get smashed there. You see how he tried to charge into the rear of Demon's general unit there? That was a nice tactical aggressive move there. But as I say, we managed to take out those 2 Carthage Sacred Band units. Right, if you notice here, you can see that our Julii ally is under a lot of pressure from the enemy Brutii army in front of him. If you notice here, I've moved my Spartans back up behind Andras's infantry here, ready to help if he really needs it. You can see that Demon on our right flank is moving round to the right a little bit here. You can see that Lazy Ant is moving his SBQR army closer to Andras in the centre. And as I say, you can see Lotus's Brutii army there still facing Lazy Ant's army. Okay, so as I say, remember, the enemy are all the green Brutii and Carthage. Everything else is us. Okay, so let's say, look at Demon here. I think Demon's looking to do a right flanking action here. The way that he's positioned his army looks to me like he wants to be aggressive and could well maybe look to do a right flanking action here. We'll just have to watch this flank, I think, as the battle unfolds. But the way that he's looking, he's moved his army, the positioning of his cavalry and everything, it wouldn't surprise me if, as I say, he did decide to do a right flanking action there. Okay, so you can see now, that Barclayman's moved his Carthage Sacred Band back up the battlefield in the centre again, behind Pompey's infantry facing my Greek cities. Okay, so as I say, as I explained to you earlier, the enemy tactics are that I hope I'm going to attack a Rome. They will then pull that Roman army back. The Carthage Sacred Band will then move forward to engage me, and then they will attack once again with Rome. So, as I say, in effect, I would be fighting 2 armies there. Okay, but as I can see, our ally Andras here in the centre has lost quite a few units. It's a real battle of attrition there in the centre between his army and Pompey's army. But remember, Pompey had 17 infantry units, so he had quite a few infantry units here. And if you notice, can you notice that I moved my Greek city army about a little bit, just trying to get the enemy to guess where I'm moving. Can you see the Carthage Sacred Band has moved over here? Make no mistake, the Carthage Sacred Band general is trying to shadow my Spartans, and wherever I move them, can you see the Carthage Sacred Band general moves his army to kind of shadow my army? So that's the usual tactic there. So I am aware of that, so it'll be interesting to see what I'm going to do with these Spartans during the course of this battle. Right, let's just pause the game for a second here. So as I said, my allies, Julii allies, lost quite a few men here. So what I'd like to do is smash my Spartans into the forward units of these Brutii troops, maybe rout a couple of units, and let's just see if the Carthage Sacred Band move forward and the Brutii general move his troops back. Okay, so here you can see I'm going to charge my Spartans in. I'm not going to put the spears down at the moment. I'm just going to charge in so they can use their secondary weapon, a sword. I'm going to smash into the forward units of those enemy Brutii troops. Get ready for this, and bang, as I smash in there. Press forward, still pressing on, trying to rout a lot of those. There you go, routed a lot of those Brutii units. Let's just pause the game for a second. So as I say, smashed in there, routed a lot of Brutii units. I'm not interested in fighting, making a substantial battle there. All I wanted to do was charge in, rout those units. Can you see, like we thought, the Brutii general's withdrawing his infantry, and the Carthage Sacred Band general is moving his Carthage units forward. Okay, as we thought, that's the usual counter tactic against my Greek cities. But what I'm going to do now, I've routed those Brutii units. As I say, I'm not going to stand around there to fight 2 armies. I'm now going to pull my Spartans back. There you go. It was kind of like a lightning attack there on those forward Brutii units. And I remember Andras said to me, thanks, because he was under a lot of pressure there, and I think that attack did help to take the pressure off him a little bit. Okay, so over here on the right flank here, as I said, you remember earlier I said I thought to myself, when I saw the position of Demon's army, he was going to be aggressive and try a right flanking action here, and he is now really aggressively attacking Crypto's infantry there, but he must be careful because there's a lot of enemy cavalry over here, and also they could get a lot of reinforcements over here as well. And also behind him, remember Brutii cavalry, Crypto's Brutii cavalry, 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack Brutii cavalry going to smash into the rear of Demon's engaged infantry. Okay, so Demon's being very aggressive here, but he must be careful because there's a lot of enemy resources going to be brought over to this flank, and he's going to get smashed into the rear by that well upgraded Brutii cavalry coming in. Okay, you can see his Scipii cavalry attacking the Brutii infantry, and bang as they smash in there. But look at the Brutii cavalry coming in here. Bang as that first lot hits, and here comes the ones from behind, and bang as they smash in as well. Oh my gosh, I think I think Demon's infantry are holding really well there, bearing in mind they just got smashed, double hit there by cavalry. Look at all that enemy cavalry charging and bang as they smash in there. Oh my gosh, this could be the make or break of the battle. What do you think? Could this prove pivotal and decisive here on the right flank? Great, we can see we got cavalry reinforcements coming in from our allies, and I can see a lot of enemy Brutii troops starting to rout. So that's good news for us. Okay, you can see I'm bringing my Greek cities over as well here to help here, trying, if we can rout the enemy here on the right flank, that of course would give us a massive advantage. As I thought here, you can see the Carthage Sacred Band General down, bringing his Sacred Band Spearmen down here. And as I say, you can see the Brutii General there really pressing in with his infantry. Trying to pin and hold my Spartans, maybe getting ready for his Sacred Band allies to come forward. But the thing is, am I going to start fighting there? Am I going to stand there and start a substantial fight, or am I going to move back again? Let's say here you can see Lazy Ant moving his infantry more over central there towards Pompey's infantry. And also you can see some of Lotus's infantry still out there on the left flank. Okay. But here you can see Andras's Julio infantry up behind my infantry. But the thing is, am I going to stand there and let both those armies attack me, or will I move my infantry back? I guess we'll have to see. As I say, we've got lots of support here on the right flank. We nearly took out all those Brutii infantry there with the great cavalry support from our allies. As I say, over on that right flank, it looks like we've got cavalry superiority, but we'll just have to wait and see. But as I say, don't forget, blue and red are us, and SBQR. So blue, red and SBQR are us. Green and Carthage are the enemy. Right, can you see here, I just want to draw your attention here, can you see that Crypto's got his general and other units in a rather, here, can you see there, Brutii units plus the Brutii general there in a very exposed position. His general there could get taken out, and don't forget our allies would have spotted that, and they're going to charge their cavalry in there to take out those Brutii units, but mainly to try and take out the general. They could take out Crypto's general, of course that's going to reduce the general morale bonus, and here comes the cavalry and bang as they smash in there. Make no mistake, they'll be really trying to concentrate on that Brutio general. They want to take out Crypto's general. As I say, Crypto's general a little bit exposed there, and as I say, he could well be taken out, but we just have to wait and see. I think he has some good upgrades on his general there, so it's going to hold for some time, but there's enemy cavalry coming in there, and he's now been routed. Okay, so we've now routed Crypto's general. Okay, so let's just pause the game here. So as I say, we've routed Crypto's general, taken the general morale bonus away, and as you can see, there's a lot of our allies' infantry and cavalry here on this right flank, and I think we've done really well. And it looks like, you know, if we keep pressing around there, we might be able to destroy the enemy on our right flank. Okay, here, as I say, you can see the enemy Brutii infantry and a sacred band closing in on my Greek city Spartans. What I'm going to do is up spears, and I'm going to pull my Spartans back. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'll attack when I'm ready to attack with my Spartans for a full-out attack. But as I say, I know the counter tactics that they will use against my Spartans, but I'll be ready for that when I decide to attack. But as I say, here you can see Demon here, backed up by our SBQ. Our allies done really well here on our right flank. The enemy are pulling back more central now. If you notice, the enemy have gone more defensive. Do you remember at the beginning here, our team looked quite defensive and close, didn't they? Do you remember we noticed that? But if you notice, the enemy now have moved into a central area, kind of like they've gone into a bit of a defensive mode. As I say, our Scipio ally Demon on the right flank looks like he's ready to move. Here you can see our Julio ally with his red Roman troops, and our SBQ ally here may well look to do a left flanking action there. So as I say, you can see the enemy, as I say, moved a little bit more central now, a little bit more defensive. Let's pause the game for a second. So as I say, they've kind of condensed their team there into a defensive position here. We've got Julii cavalry, we've got all of Demon's infantry there. They may well do a right flanking action. They may well try and get in behind the enemy troops there. We just have to see how aggressive they want to be. And as I say, you've got some of Lotus units still here, over there on our left flank, but we've got more than enough infantry to deal with any threat coming from there. So as I say, this would be interesting. As I say, please, in the comments after you've watched the battle, please could you put where you think the battle was won and where you think the battle was lost. I think it would be really interesting to stimulate a debate on this battle, because I don't know if there's going to be any clear kind of one winning move or one losing move. So I think it'd be interesting to see what everybody thinks about how this battle was won or how this battle was lost. Okay, so as I said, you can see Demon here moving around to the right flank. He's got very battle depleted units there, and he must be careful that he doesn't get isolated. Okay, so let's just pause the game for a second. So say here you can see our SBQ ally Lazy Ant over on the left flank has brought units over to the right flank here to support his allies. I noticed Lazy Ant's extremely good team player. I've noticed in other battles he's always bringing units around the battlefield to help his teammates. Remember, that's how you win battles as a team, helping each other out, keeping an eye on each other, and just helping where you can. As I say, you can see those 3 Carthage units move forward now. It may well be the time for me to attack now. I think it's time for me to start trying to draw in lots of enemy units. So as you can see there, I'm now going to advance there with my Greek cities, and I'm going to be make a substantial attack there. And as I say, I'm going to draw in as many units as I can. And remember, you've seen this in other battle videos, the more units that I can draw in to attack my Spartans, the less units there are for my allies to fight, and hopefully we can take advantage of that. Okay, so make no mistake now, I'm going in full out attack now. Going to make the most of the attacking specifications of my Spartans. I'm just going to push straight in. Okay, but over here on our right flank, you can see Demon, as I say, doing a right flanking action here, but he must be careful he doesn't get isolated, because a lot of his units were extremely battle depleted. Look at the resources the enemy team can bring over to the right flank here. If he's not careful, he could get routed. Okay, he's, as I say, being very aggressive, which is good normally, but controlled aggression here, and with all the enemy units moving over there, he could well be in trouble. Let's say here you can see our Julio ally moving forward there. Now you can see Pompey's got 4 basically intact, fully intact units there, which I think if he sees me starting to pierce through Carthage, he's going to send those units over to attack me. And that's alright by me, because as I say, the tactic with my Greek cities is to try and draw in as many enemy units as I can. And as I say, by doing that, it helps the team, because the more units that are attacking me, the less there are for my teammates to fight, and hopefully they can take advantage of that to go on to help us win the battle. Okay, but over here, as I say, on our right flank, Demon being very aggressive there with his Scipio troops. But remember, his infantry was very battle depleted, very battle damaged. And if he's not careful, look at the enemy resources being brought over here. I can see a lot of his units starting to rout. A lot of his infantry units are starting to rout here. Now, if he loses here on the right flank, all those enemy troops would be available to come round and roll us up from right to left. Bang, as that enemy cavalry smashes in there. That's his general's just been taken out. Oh my gosh. Okay, so as you can see here, Demon's still got his cavalry left, but all his infantry have now been taken out, and for all intents and purposes our right flank has now been broken, and all those enemy troops can now come round to our right flank and look to roll us up from right to left. Yes, we've got a lot of cavalry over there. As you can see, SBQR cavalry, Julii cavalry, and we've got Demon Scipii cavalry there, but that's a lot of infantry there that can move round here to start rolling us up. Over here on our left flank, as I say, you can see we've got Lazy Ants, SBQR infantry, and our Julii ally there fighting the troops, and my Greek cities, I'm still pushing forward there, still trying to get as many enemy units as I can to join in to attack my Spartans there. But as I say, over on our right flank, you can see that the situation there, that all of Demon's infantry have now been taken out, and all those enemy troops that have just done that are now available now to come round our flank and roll us up from right to left. As you can see, all we've got is cavalry over on that flank, and you certainly don't want to put cavalry up against infantry, because I see there's a Carthage Sacred Band, couple of Sacred Band units there as well with their anti-cavalry spears. Right, there's those 4 fully intact infantry units that we talked about earlier. Can you see Pompeius brought them over here to try and plug the gap here? Can you see my Spartans are gradually pushing through those Carthage Sacred Bands, so the enemy are bringing more units over here to try and plug the gap there as my Spartans are pushing through. Right, let's just pause the game for a second. So I'm moving forward here, but you can see the enemy are bringing more reinforcements in, fresh reinforcements there to attack my Spartans. Okay, but I'm still going to be aggressive. I'm still going to move forward here. Hopefully, the more units, as I said before, that attack my Spartans, the less there are for my allies to fight, and hopefully my allies can take advantage of that. But I'm still going to push forward with my Spartans. I'm still going for that Brutii General. I can see a Brutii General there. I'm going to push forward with my Spartans into that Brutii General. As I say, look at all the enemy units I've got now engaging my Spartans. And I'm hoping that, as I say, that's going to help my my allies a little bit there. I'm getting piloted as well. Don't forget those Brutii infantry were fully piloted. They had all their pilots left. They've thrown into me as well. But I'm still pushing forward. Still trying to, as I say, encourage as many enemy units as I can to attack my Spartans, which is what you can see happening. More Carthage Sacred Band units coming in. Brutii units coming in. So as I say, you can see we've got a massive cavalry advantage now. You can see all the cavalry got. Okay, remember, anything but green is us. Okay, Carthage and green Brutii are the enemy. Everything else, as I said, is us. So you can see we have got quite a big cavalry advantage here. I can see that Brutii cavalry starting to chase down my archers, but as I say, we could move our cavalry around the battlefield here. It looks like they're going to try and take out some of Lotus's units here on our left flank. You can see both Demons, Cavalry, and our Julio ally there trying to take out those Brutii. There's that cavalry unit going around, bang, as they smash into the back of one of Lotus's units here. Here you can see Lazy Ant charging his cavalry forward here, trying to smash into the enemy troops that are attacking my Spartans. There's more enemy infantry and cavalry coming in behind Lazy Ant's engaged infantry. Can you see all that Brutii infantry there pushing in on Lazy Ant's SBQR infantry there? And as I say, my Spartans now are fighting in 3 separate directions there, trying to weaken and kill as many units as I can. That's the Carthage General, I think, it's just been taken out. But I say, Lazy Ant's SBQR infantry is really trying to assist me here. Okay, that's my Greek city's general. My general's just been taken out there. But I'm still, look, you can notice my Spartans are still moving forward, still being aggressive towards the attacking enemy troops there. Okay, so as I say, over on the left flank we've routed most of Lotus's infantry there. So if we can get infantry and cavalry round behind the enemy team, they might be able to come over and help my beleaguered Spartans. As I say, the Spartans there that are fighting as hard as they can. But oh my gosh, just saw some bad news there. Can you see a lot of Lazy Ant's infantry have just been routed there by a combined enemy cavalry and infantry attack. Okay, so that's a lot of our SBQR allies have now moved out, and that's more enemy infantry can now push in on my battle depleted, battle damaged Spartans. Look at all the enemy troops there that can now push into the rear of my Spartans there. I'm still moving forward, still attacking the enemy troops. If I'm not routing them, I'm trying to damage them as best I can. But remember here, look, can you see that Lazy Ant's units are being hit from Barclay Man's Sacred Band Spear, cavalry coming in behind, and the Brutii infantry at the front. So Lazy Ant's infantry and cavalry there were caught in a sandwich attack. Look at the way that those Sacred Band cavalry are charging in. Here comes Andras with one of his cavalry units, and bang, into the rear. There's some more enemy Brutii cavalry charging into the fray here. You can see Demon bringing his cavalry in as well to help rout those Sacred Band cavalry. Okay, so we've managed to rout a lot of enemy units here on our right flank. But as I say, my Spartans here are really being assailed from all sides. Fresh troops being brought in there. You can see, as I say, it looks to me like we've got cavalry advantage now. Let's just pause the game for a second here. So as I say, you can see lots of more enemy units being pushed in against my Spartans, but my Spartans are doing what I want them to, drawing enemy units in. And as I say, I'm hoping that's making it a bit easier for my allies now to fight less units and hopefully get into more advantageous positions. I see we got cavalry and infantry coming in behind the enemy troops there. I just hope my allies can fight through the enemy troops to get over to my Spartans, because looking at the opposition that my Spartans are fighting there, it wouldn't surprise me if they mass routed. We just have to see there, because I can see them tired, and I can see so many enemy troops pushing in on my Spartans now. So as I say, look, there's another Brutio unit that's going to come in behind my Spartans. There he goes, look, going to charge in, bang, as he charges into the rear of my Spartan units there. So as I say, my Spartans are definitely beleaguered here. I'm turning Spartans to face a threat from every direction that's coming in on me. But look at the number of enemy units I'm getting to attack me there. Okay, let's just pause the game. So with all these enemy units, you can see my Spartans now are completely surrounded by enemy troops, all pushing in. And as I say, it would surprise me if they routed now. But look at the advantage we got. Remember, SBQR and Julii are our team, our coloured team there, you see, moving forward towards the enemy Brutii troops there. So I think with my Spartans attracting so many enemy units that it has enabled my team to be able to take out most of the other enemy units there, and as I say, get into advantageous positions. But as I say, I think my Spartans are going to take one for the team here, and it looks like, yeah, there you go. Let's say completely surrounded, the enemy troops really pushing in on me there. And as I say, you can see my my general's just routed there, I think, or is it still fighting just about? But most of my other units, all the other units there, right, okay, so I think that's all my Spartans now have been routed, as you can see. And you can see our allies now are moving around to charge into those battle depleted units that have been fighting my Spartans. Okay, remember we are the SBQR purple and the red Julii. Okay, and the enemy are the green, as we've said before. But you can see here now that all my Spartans have now been taken out. They've all been routed. If you look on the battlefield, you can see the red cloaked Spartans laid out on the ground there, where they've all been killed. But I think they did the job that I wanted to. They attracted a lot of enemy units there, and hopefully it's enabled my allies to, as I say, fight less enemy units there, because the majority kind of were attacking me, and hopefully give our team a bit of an advantage there. But as I say, my Spartans now are a spent force, nothing left of them now. So it's up to my allies now to finish off the rest of the enemy Brutii. And there you can see, bang, as that Carthage Sacred Band cavalry unit smashed into one of our SBQR units. But you can see our team gradually moving forward here to engage enemy troops. Can you see that Julii cavalry, that red Julii cavalry? It wouldn't surprise me if he put them into wedge formation. There you go, can you see he's putting them into wedge formation now? And he's just going to move them into, I would think, an advantageous position. And when he's ready, I reckon that cavalry charge is going to smash what's left of the enemy troops there. Get ready, watch that Julii cavalry at the top there. And here they come. Here comes that Julii cavalry. Get ready for this. And bang, as they smash in there. And I think that routed the last of the enemy units there. So it looks like our team has managed to go on to win the battle there. As I say, you can see it certainly seems to be quite a condensed battle there. And I've got one unit left. Can you see I've got one Cretan archer left with 21 men left in it. That's all. That's the entirety of my whole army there. That's all I've got left. Okay, and if you go right over here to the left flank, you can see there a little bit of skirmishing went on. But as we moved further along the battle line there, you can see how intense the fighting is by just looking at the piles of dead. Enemy and allied troops laying on top of each other. Masses of dead there, as you can see. Cavalry, infantry, all integrated dead. And as I say, it was an extremely intense battle here. Just look at the dead there. As I said, in the comments, if you could put maybe where you saw where the battle was won or where the battle was lost, I think that could stimulate a good debate. There you can see my red cloaked Spartans dead on the ground there. You can see quite a few of them there. But I think it would be interesting to see where you think the battle was won or where you think the battle was lost here. I think it'd be nice, as I say, to stimulate a debate on this, because I'm not sure if there was a clear kind of action that won it or a clear action that lost it there. So it'd be interesting to see what you all think. And as I say, it'd be nice to get a little bit of a debate going on how the battle was won or how it was lost there. But as I say, you can see our team has managed to go on to win the battle there. Very intense and a real, I think you could say, battle of attrition there. A real grinding down battle. Okay, so first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game. Really well played, guys. It was a great battle there. Yeah, really well done. Some great moves there by both teams. And as you can see, it was a close victory, as we thought it would be. Very close victory, I think. And the highest kills in the game goes to Lazy Ant, RTW player Lazy Ant, 1,544 kills. So well done to Lazy Ant. Great teamwork as well. And well done to Undras as well, 1,495 kills. So well done. So well done to Brotherhood member Crypto. 1,257 kills. Pretty good kills there for Crypto. Well done to him. Well done to Barkley Man, 1,410 kills. Nice kills with Carthage. Well done to Pompey, 1,242. Well done, Pomp, and well done to Lotus there. Just got 1,000 kills. So really well played, guys. It was a great game. Lots of good aggressive moves there. That Greek Cities army of mine, 1,369. Not bad, bearing in mind I was quite defensive there, wouldn't I suppose. Well done to Lazy Ant. Let's say highest kills in the game. Very good support all over the battlefield too. Well done to Undras. And well done to Brotherhood member Demon too. Really well played, guys. That was a great battle. And as I say, I don't usually ask you to do this, but I think this battle seemed to be, as I say, had no clear movement to win the battle, if you know what I mean, and no clear action to kind of lose it. So I just wonder where you think the battle was won and where the battle was lost. I think it'd be interesting to see what we all our opinions are on that. As I say, I think it could be a really good way of stimulating a debate on the battle, and you know, in a way would make it even more interesting, the battle even more interesting if you see to talk about what happened in it. Okay, Spartan Commander saying bye for now. See you soon.